if you are a woman over 40, then chances are you understand that at this stage, everything is drying out. Hair feels frizzy, hair won't grow, skin is really dry. Welcome to perimenopause. It is not in your head, it is just your hormones fluctuating, and we're going to dive into all of it. We're going to break down why this is happening because it is extremely frustrating when everything just takes longer to get ready in the morning and we're already exhausted and we already don't have any energy. That to spend more time getting ready in the morning is completely exhausting. So we're going to go over why this is happening first off. Then I want to go into what actually works, what can help, products that I love, things that I'm using that I have found are really helping me at this stage of life. The culprit here is always going to be the estrogen. The estrogen is what is declining at this stage of our lives. And the frustrating part is that it's not completely gone. We are just doing this uncomfortable roller coaster ride constantly. Typically, prior to 40, prior to perimenopause, your hormones are still doing this, right? Well, like every now and then we might drop a little, but for the most part, they're kind of doing this. That's why we have our periods. At this stage of our life, we are going like this. Everything is slowly declining. When these hormones start to drop, we are going to stop producing as much collagen. When that happens, your skin is going to lose moisture. Your hair is going to become thin or frizzy or dried out. Your nails are going to feel really brittle and soft. They're not going to be strong anymore. So all the things that we enjoyed prior to this phase of life, plump skin, hydration. I mean, I used to bleach my hair constantly. Now, absolutely can't do it. Not the case. But even regardless of those things, sometimes you're still going to experience really dry skin. That's why our wrinkles and our lines start coming in a little bit more, where we don't have as much moisture on our skin, on our body, in our hair, on our scalp. And this is when we start to see the problems, the drying out, the dullness. The lines are starting to come in a little bit more. There are really 4 reasons why our skin is looking horrible at the stage of life, and we need to put a little bit more work or possibly even fix some problems, damage that has just been done over the years. Of course, the culprit, like we already said, is going to be estrogen. So low estrogen means a lack of collagen, which means a lack of cell turnover, which means your body is not producing those new cells as quickly as it did prior to being 40, prior to being in perimenopause. When that happens and you're not having that cell turnover, the dead skin cells basically just stay on your skin. I mean, that's what dull skin, dry skin, more wrinkles, all of that is a factor of just a lot of dead skin cells being on our skin, not getting them off and not replenishing our skin with what we need, whether it's externally or internally. As we're aging, because we don't have that cell turnover, our outer layer of skin really becomes very weak, very thin. The problem with this is that moisture doesn't stay in that barrier long enough as it did when we were younger, when we had a thicker barrier. The last reason is just years of sun damage. After years and years of being in the sun with no protection, because of the UV rays, the sun damage, we're going to see the effects of it now. If you've spent years of never really taking care of your skin, it's going to show. Whatever work you put in, you're going to get out. So let's talk about solutions. The first thing is going to be, and it's something that we all need work on. It is the hardest thing in the world. I don't know why it is. I think because we're always rushing, we're always doing, and we're not really taking care of ourselves throughout the day. But water, we definitely need water. So I have a couple of these. I just got these at Target. They're just 32 ounces. So if I can do 2, minimum 2, but if I can do 3 of these a day, I feel really great. And then I mostly every single day always put in my little element packet. And no, this is not sponsored, but I really love these, and I honestly feel a huge difference when I have this in my water. I definitely feel like more awake. I just feel a lot better. Next thing I use on my skin, let's talk about kind of cleansing, because this is so important. For years, I didn't really do, or the products that I was using were honestly making my skin feel horrible. It felt really dry, really tight after I was done cleansing, which basically meant I was using the wrong product. This has really been the game changer for me. I do an oil cleanse, and I actually do it twice if I especially have a lot of makeup on. I do it with dry hands on dry skin. I've been using it for over a year now. I have actually found my blackheads are pretty much non-existent, or they're not as bad as they typically were in the past. I find my pores getting a little bit smaller. Like, this stuff is truly amazing. I will link it down below. For years, I was just so against a hydrating cleanser. I always felt like it made my skin really oily. Just means you were using the wrong product. But then I started using La Roche-Posay. There we go. I really love this product. It's like the hydrating gentle cleanser. So I do the oil cleanse first to basically get the makeup off. Once that's done, then I cleanse my skin, and I don't do anything in the morning. I only do this at night. Every other day, I scrub my face with an exfoliant, and I use a Cure. I love this brand. It's so good. Their cleanser is actually really good too. It didn't dry me out, but I just love this. It's just way more affordable. You get more in it, and it's just really good stuff. So I will exfoliate. Now, the exfoliation is where we're getting the dead skin cells off. So if you are not doing it, highly recommend. And you have to really understand your skin. My skin can really take it every other day. I wouldn't do it every day, but I definitely will do it every other day. And once a week, again, this is not for everyone. This is just what works for me. But once a week, I use one of these, and I actually use it on my face. After I've cleansed my face, I keep it on, and I just kind of take this and I just scrub a little bit in like circular motions and really like get in there. I of course use this on my body as well, probably a couple times a week, everywhere, all over my body, and I really kind of scrub. The thing with the scrubbing and the exfoliating is you have to make sure you're putting the moisture back in, because if you're not, then you're just, yeah, you're getting all the dead skin cells off, but you're not replenishing the skin. So it's very important after to make sure you're replenishing. Let's talk about that. I have been using this, the Shea Moisture. It's a body oil. This stuff is so good. It's natural, which a lot of the products that I use are natural, clean products. But I love this because I use it every single time I get out of the shower. On wet skin, on my whole body, neck, chest, everything. I am moisturized. I am a little glistening, but I am not oily. I do not feel greasy. I do not like that feeling whatsoever. I hate the feeling. Even self-tanner, I don't really tan at night while I'm sleeping because it's just uncomfortable to sit in it. So, but this stuff works so well, and I use it all over my body. Every other day, I have been using glycolic acid. This stuff has been a huge game changer in an area where I wouldn't even think it's actually needed, on the heels of my feet. Can we talk about this for a second? The minute, actually, I'd probably say in the last year or two, all of a sudden, the heels of my feet need to be scrubbed, gross TMI, all of the time. I don't know why all of a sudden the heels of your feet want to be so incredibly dry. I do not understand. But this little gadget has worked wonders. It's by Dr. Scholl's. I don't like any of the really abrasive foot scrubs. I actually think that they hurt. They cut your skin. They don't heal anything. They don't get off the necessary dry skin. They get off too much. And so this thing I absolutely love, and it doesn't, and you do it on just like a dry foot. It's basically a nail file. That really helps, but this bad boy has worked so well. I put it on a cotton swab and I just rub it against the heels of my feet. Of course, I put some lotion. I'll either put this on or this on the balls of my feet, and then I'll put some socks on. If you're like me, because I don't like to sleep with socks on, because we just can't at this stage of life, is what I do is I take a pair of socks and I just cut off the toes. And as weird as this sounds, I can sleep with socks on. So if my feet are really bad and I really want to just like lock in the moisture and put the socks on and just go to bed, I will wear socks with no toes, but I have my socks on. I got my acid on, I got my lotion, or I got my cream, and I'm good to go. I also will use this a couple times during the week on my face as well. So same thing, cotton swab, and then I'll just, after I cleanse, I will use this, and it basically just helps to get more of that dead stuff off your skin. The one thing that I use every single night, I'm super faithful, is castor oil. Everyone has like a different opinion with castor oil, but I love it. It absolutely works. It helps with growing your eyebrows if you feel like your eyebrows are becoming sparse, which they definitely do once you hit 40. So if I do this every single night, I really see a huge difference. If I stop doing it, it goes back to the way it was, which really stinks. So I just take like a couple drops, put it on my fingertips like this, and I just rub it into my eyebrows. What I will also do, and I don't do this every single night, but a lot of the times I'll just kind of marry these two together. So this is the La Roche-Posay. It's the moisturizing, repair moisturizing cream. This stuff is amazing. I use it all year round. It works so well. Highly recommend this. And I will actually add some castor oil to this and put it on my face as well. I use this on my neck, and I really lather this on. And I especially will lather it under my eyes. So I'll take a really good size cream and lather it almost to the point where you can see it. And I just leave it on there overnight. And when I wake up in the morning, my crow's feet aren't as pronounced. My skin is a lot softer. I don't cleanse my face in the morning. I just brush my face with some water, and then I just pat it dry, and I start adding some stuff to my skin. I might do a little niacinamide in the morning. I might do a milk cleanser. I might add a little bit of the moisturizing cream under my eyes, but I really have to be gentle with this. I can't add a lot. In the winter, I could probably add a little bit more, but right now we're kind of like in between seasons. I just do a little niacinamide, and then I go straight into my moisturizing SPF. Now this Bad Larry is something that I bought a few years ago, and I'll tell you, best money ever spent. But if you do not have a steamer for your face, this is something that you should absolutely be doing, especially because we're going into the winter months. But this thing has been amazing. It's the easiest thing in the world. Obviously it plugs in, and you just take this little compartment out of here, fill this with water. It's probably, I don't know, I'd say maybe like a 10-minute steam on your face, and I'll just sit there and I'll let the steam just like hit my face. And I'll do this a couple times throughout the week, and I swear this makes the biggest difference. It feels so good. Highly recommend as well. But let's talk about hair. Now, I will say my hair actually looks pretty good right now, tooting my own horn. But I put in hair oil yesterday, had it on all day, and as you can see, it makes a huge, huge difference. This is the product that I use on my scalp to oil it, and as you can see, like I'm doing good. I'm doing really good with this. Actually, I want to say this is my second bottle, and I notice when I do this faithfully, my hair grows like a weed. Once I put that on my scalp and I kind of really rub it in and scrub it in there, then I do a hair strengthening oil. And this is, I love this stuff. I will say, I don't like the smell of this, but who cares? I usually just put my hair in a bun. I put a hat on, or I'm doing, just stuff around the house, and it doesn't really matter. This oil for my scalp, I actually think it smells amazing. I kind of think it smells like coffee in a way. It's just so good. So good. Doesn't smell the greatest, but works really well. And then I lather this all over my hair, especially like my ends over here. The frizzy that happens here, where it's like basically spiders just hanging out, I don't know what is happening, is not a vibe, and I want nothing to do with it. The product that I really do love is this stuff. It's the Argan Oil of Morocco. It's their dry oil mist. I do not like an oil that I have to put on my hands. First off, I don't like getting my hands oily. This just gives like the little, oh my God, it smells so good. I don't even know what this scent is, but it smells so good. And it's a good product to use. Not that it's really going anywhere, it's just going on your hair, but it just smells so good. It gives it instant shine, and you just need a little, I tend to go away. You don't want to be like right in the hair here. Just do a little spritz, and then you're good to go. You'll definitely see some shine. Such a good product. But I think the issues that we're all having is that hair is thinning out, right? So we're having these like little areas like I have right in here where it's just really thin and sparse, and we basically look like we're going bald. This one isn't so bad, but this is the area that we do not like. And why it's happening: breakage, slower growth, frizzy, dry, won't grow at all. What's going on? I will say hair is a protein. So this is the whole protein kick that everyone's so annoyed with hearing about lately. Eat more protein, eat more protein. So your diet plays a huge factor, as well, of course, as hormone fluctuations. But sometimes, unless you're going to do HRT and really invest in that, you can't control the fact that you're just not producing what you need anymore. So the only thing that you would be able to control is your diet. Things like the shampoos that we use, the tools that we use, just the sun in general obviously is going to put some damage on our hair. So these are all the things that we can control. Of course, we can take a ton of supplements. There's so many out there. Nutrafol, again, not sponsored, collagen powders, all the things. But I personally think no matter what route you go, it really depends on you. It may not necessarily work for everyone and you may not always get the same results, but of course, try it. Let's talk about nails. Like, I am very passionate about my nails because they have to always be done. When you get your eyebrows done, when you get your nails done, I just feel so much better about myself. I feel like I have my life together and I just feel clean. Then I just became obsessed with going to get my nails done. Then COVID hit and we all stopped kind of doing our nails and we went down, you know, the route of either doing them yourselves or press-ons. The problems that we're having is because of the hormone fluctuation, because we're not probably giving ourselves what it is that we actually need. We might be lacking some nutrients, that our nails aren't growing as fast as they used to. Maybe they're not as hard as they used to be. They're brittle, they're splitting, maybe the color just is off or off-putting, etc. And everyone has a different nail aesthetic that they like. Some love the fake nails and really long. Some love the natural nails where I don't do anything. Maybe I'll just put like a nail strengthener on or a clear coat. Maybe I just bite mine all the time and we need to work on that. I don't see a huge difference in my nail hardening, my nail strength. I do, however, see a huge difference in them after I've done press-ons. When I started, I've never been a huge press-on person, but when I have used them, I used to just like soak them in water or oil. I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the time for that. So what I do use, and I'll link it up here and link it down below, is I use this product and it's basically a little oil that you put underneath your press-ons. You let it sit there for like 5, maybe 10 minutes and they literally pop off. And it actually is great because it's an oil, so it gets into your nail, helps it, and you don't get any of that harsh scrubbing and digging that you would get from sometimes even getting like a gel manicure. Recently, we have seen in the news with gel manicures an ingredient called TPO. And TPO is the ingredient that is in the gel polish, the base, the top coat, and the nail products as well, that basically allows it to harden after it goes under the UV light. As of September 1st, the EU has banned that ingredient in all nail products. And of course, here in the US, what are we doing? Why are we doing the same? This one is by OPI. It's TPO free. This is the base coat and the top coat. And then, of course, you can get like whatever colors you want. So I still put gel on my nails because I love more of a natural nail. I love a short nail. Even if I do press-ons, which I love these. These are the only ones, the Kiss Acrylic French Petite. So these are super short. I love these. The only ones also that I will use, because I've used other brands and I'm not going to name them, but I've pretty much used all of them. And I get like a fungus under my nails. Like if you've ever had that where you take them off and all of a sudden you see that little green dot, which is essentially water has gotten underneath there and is no good. We don't like that. With these, I do not, that has never ever once happened. I think because these are just really thin. I also think these last longer than any other brand that I've used. If I want to get a little cray and do a color, I'll do the stickers, the like peel and press. I will use these if I have like a special occasion or a function or something like that and I want to do a color, but I am a French girl. I am a pink milky girl, and that's kind of all I do. When every now and then I will give my nails a break though, and I'll just put on regular nail polish. And so I love OPI. Like my go-tos is Getting Nani and Mood About You. And they are just, I have worn them for years and years. It's pretty much all I wear. And before I do that, I will put on a nail strengthener, and this really actually does work and help. So if I feel like my nails are getting a little brittle and I'm not a real let them breathe kind of a girl, so I put this on. I put on a couple coats of this that'll last me like a day because regular nail polish does not last very long at all. We all know this. And these two together, after that, my nails feel great. So just to sum it up, because I can't even tell you the amount of products that are sitting in front of me right now, is this is all normal. Unfortunately, it's a part of just losing estrogen, but there are things that you can do. Things like, drinking a lot of water, making sure you're having a balanced diet, and just adding some good natural ingredients that actually work. Oils, creams, putting good creams on. You don't need to spend a lot of money and just dousing your face with things that don't work and spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on cleansers and going to Sephora, and it's unnecessary. Like Target, $17. These two, that's it. It's like the cleanser and the cream are it for me. Exfoliating, adding some oil to my hair throughout the week, and you're pretty much good to go. You just have to be consistent. And unfortunately, we have to put the time and the effort into ourselves a little bit more than we did in our 20s and our 30s. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a long one, I know. So if you are still with me, please leave a heart emoji down below so I know you stuck it out. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching and enjoy your week. Bye.